So if you guys have been around my channel in the last little while, you'd know that I love the campaign and story of pretty much all of the Call of Duty games, ranging from Black Ops to Modern Warfare. I go in depth and look at the tiny details of these campaigns, of these stories, and today is no exception, but it is a little bit different. In Call of Duty Modern Warfare, one thing that they did is they went back and took a bunch of old characters from previous Modern Warfare games and put cameos of them within this game. And in this video today, I'm going to be breaking down every single character that has returned to Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and also talking a little bit about their origin story and where they came from. In total, there are 11 different characters that we have to look at today, so a lot to talk about. But before we dive into these 11 characters, I just wanted to let you guys know, first of all, thank you for all of the support over the launch of the game. It's been absolutely insane, so thank you so much for that. And also, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I was actually looking at some of my analytics, and about 81% of people who watch my videos aren't actually subscribed to the channel. So if you like what you see here and want to stay up to date on all of these different story videos and other Modern Warfare videos that I'm making, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you have notifications on, and without further ado, let me shut up and let's dive into all of the returning characters within Modern Warfare. So with Modern Warfare, I really think we should start out with the big daddy of them all, and that, of course, is Captain Price. Captain Price is the one character we knew without a shadow of a doubt was coming back within Modern Warfare, and is one of the main characters throughout the campaign. He is the captain of the story. He makes all the tough decisions, tells everyone what to do, and is, well, Captain Price throughout the whole story. But we do get a little bit of a cameo from Lieutenant Price halfway through the story.
Don't shoot!
Who's Commander Karim?
I'm Karim.
We got your messages.
Lieutenant Joe Price. Where are the others?
In there. It's right ahead.
Stay close.
Right, let's go, boys.
Now, going to the origins of Captain Price, the only other time that we get to see a younger Captain Price is during the mission All Gillied Up within Call of Duty 4, where he's being led by Captain McMillan to take out Imran Zakhaev. And don't worry, we'll get to that in a little bit. Now, the rest of Captain Price's story is, well, simple. He's one of the few characters that you followed all the way from Call of Duty 4 to Modern Warfare 3. He led many of the most iconic soldiers through all of the Modern Warfare games, some of which we're going to talk about today. But the end of his story came at the end of Modern Warfare 3, where he got to take it on his nemesis, Vladimir Makarov.
Goodbye, Captain Price.
The next character we're going to look at is a very brief cameo. This is a character that you really only see for one mission, and it is Sergeant Griggs.
The hospital is at the end of the road.
Half a click. I'll be hoofing it with the Marines.
Echo 3-1.
Sergeant Griggs.
All day.
Call me Alex.
No locals on this one. Not my call. You Kareem?
All day.
Nice work hitting the Russians.
We share friends and enemies.
Itfali. Bashufak.
Roll, Alex. Damon Dog. Time to take this shit to the fan.
Now, you play alongside Sergeant Griggs as you storm the embassy in chase of the Wolf. Now, Sergeant Griggs was a character back in Call of Duty 4 who once again was just a character that you'd see off in the background and you'd fight alongside. But his real claim to fame came at the very end of Call of Duty 4 when he dies right beside you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Sergeant Griggs. Now, the majority of these characters we don't get introduced to until the very end of the campaign. One example is this.
We've got two options.
Or we warn Moscow.
Or we let Mother Russia have a taste of her own medicine.
No, a lot of innocent people are gonna die.
At the hands of a Western asset.
Okay, so let's cut to the chase.
What do you suggest?
A business trip.
Unsanctioned?
Black.
Who's your team?
Some old comrades.
And the sergeant?
And that old comrade that he speaks of is none other than Nikolai.
That's a hell of a view, Nikolai.
Was the capital before Moscow?
The good old days.
I got two on the door.
More Alcotel inside.
Beacon and map. Watch
Good spot. Parking here sucks.
That's the butcher in the yellow shirt.
Bastard from the embassy.
No gas.
No Hadir.
Easy shot.
Tempting.
Oh, how fast? The butcher gets us to Hadir.
Well, the gas attack goes off.
Well, if that happens, then we're all fucked. Let's gear up. Get evil. Clock's ticking.
This way.
Now, for the rest of the mission, Nikolai helps you and Sergeant Garrick track down and find the Butcher, which he eventually does by literally running him over with a car. Now, as far as the origin story of Nikolai, he was introduced in Call of Duty 4 as your Russian informant. Early in the game, he's taken hostage and you are sent to rescue him, which you end up doing so, and Nikolai actually remains by your side all the way till the end of Modern Warfare 3. He's one of the few characters that does not die in the Modern Warfare series. Now, the other thing to mention is you do get to see him speak at the very end of the game and get a better look at him, and he looks extremely different in this Modern Warfare game compared to Call of Duty 4, where he had short hair and just literally looked completely different. The next section, where we get to see a ton of different mentions of different characters from the Modern Warfare universe, is right at the end of the game. So we're going to go through in order of the speech that's given and talk about each individual character.
Russia disowned Barkov.
Well, they didn't have much choice, did they? He's dead.
You took a big bite out of that problem, John.
For now. But left unchecked.
It won't be. General Shepard pulled the files you asked for.
So General Shepard we never actually see throughout this campaign, but we know who he is through Modern Warfare 2. He was actually the general that actually put Task Force 141 together, but ends up being an antagonist within Modern Warfare 2. And, well, we all know how that ends.
No, you understand.
What exactly is this about?
A task force.
We already have loose ends.
Then I will tie them.
I can fund assets, not outlaws.
Enjoy the tea, then.
Zakhaev wants Barkov's throne.
I almost buried him in Pripyat with Macmillan.
So once again, this is referring to another character that wasn't in Modern Warfare, but Imran Zakhaev. He was the main bad guy in Call of Duty 4, and the interesting thing about what Captain Price says here is that he almost buried him in Pripyat with Macmillan. That means that the all gillied up mission that happens in Call of Duty 4 is also part of this universe as well. And the thing I'm talking about there is where Captain Price shoots off Imran Zakhaev's arm. Now, at the end of Call of Duty 4, we all know what happens to Imran Zakhaev.
That was the father. This is the son, Victor.
Lovely family.
And as we quickly find out, Kate Laswell is not talking about Imran Zakhaev, but rather his son, Viktor Zakhaev. Now, this character we barely get to see in Call of Duty 4, but when we do, it's a pretty tragic affair.
Shit, kid's got some issues.
They're big fans of Hadir's.
Well, that would explain why he's still alive.
They're gonna get him out.
Then give me what I need.
Who's your crew?
Sergeant Garrick.
Kyle?
They call him Gaz. He never said anything.
So here we find out through the entire game of Modern Warfare, as we've played as Kyle Garrick, he's actually been a character that we knew from a previous Call of Duty game known as Gaz. Now, Gaz was a tertiary character back in Call of Duty 4, and he was a character you never played as, you never really heard from, but was kind of an integral character. You were introduced to him right at the beginning of the game, and a lot of people don't know this, but at the very end, where Imran Zakhaev is walking down the bridge, he actually ends up executing Gaz. Now, of course, we have to mention the fact that Gaz in the new Modern Warfare is black, whereas Gaz in Call of Duty 4 is white. If you're wondering how this is possible, you gotta remember that these timelines are not connected. The timeline of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019 is completely separate from the Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3 universe that we saw previously. And I mean, unless Gaz went through some sort of Michael Jackson surgery, that is.
John McTavish, SAS, sniper, demolitions, goes by Soap.
Why?
It's classified.
The next character we have is, of course, Soap McTavish, another character that was not in this campaign.
It's the FNG, sir. Go easy on him, sir. It's his first day in the regiment.
Right. What the hell kind of name is Soap, eh? How'd a muppet like you pass selection?
Now, Soap McTavish is obviously one of the main characters throughout Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3. Also, arguably Captain Price's best friend throughout all of these games. And in my opinion, has one of the saddest deaths in any video game ever.
Not now, son. Just rest. Get a medic! Come on, stay with me, son. Price. No. Makarov. Nose. Oh, no, 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 no! Soap! No, no, no! Soap! You have to go now! Get off me! I'm sorry.
But apparently he is going to be part of Task Force 141 within this universe.
There he is. Simon Riley.
There's no picture.
Never.
And for those of you who live under a rock and don't know who Simon Riley is, that is referring to Ghost, a character who is shrouded in mystery and was mainly in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Now, this character, as we know, came to a tragic end at the hands of General Shepard.
You have the DSL. We've got it, sir.
Good. That's one less loose out.
Now the rest. That's neat to know. Unless we got a deal.
What are you calling this task force?
141.
Now, the reason why I showed the end of that cutscene there is it doesn't refer to any characters directly, but there are two characters missing from Task Force 141 that they did not mention here. These two characters include Roach, or Gary Roach Sanderson, who is in Modern Warfare 2, and Yuri, who is in Modern Warfare 3. Now, there are two other returning characters we haven't mentioned yet, the first of which is shown at the very end of the game leading into the Spec Ops story.
Нет. Нет. Умоляю. Пожалуйста.
Now, as we find out later in the cutscene, that is none other than Al-Assad, a character that we recognize from Call of Duty 4 as the bad guy that starts out the game by assassinating the Russian president. Now, after this, Captain Price eventually gets his revenge on Al-Assad, and that's the end of that.
Who? Give me a name. A name. I want his name.
Sir, it's his cell phone.
Nice hit. What's his name?
We don't know, but he's got friends in high places.
This is Russian intel. Where did we get this?
My counterpart in Moscow.
The CIA working with the FSB.
Not the first time.
Komarov.
Captain Price.
Now, the final character, and the one you may not have picked up on, is Komarov. Now, this is a character that helped you throughout Call of Duty 4, he helped you save Nikolai, but most importantly, at the end of the game, he was actually the character that dropped in on a helicopter and ended up saving Soap and Captain Price at the very end of Call of Duty 4. And ladies and gentlemen, that is every single character who has returned within Call of Duty Modern Warfare this year in 2019. It lends to the question, where are things going next? Is there going to be a Modern Warfare 2 where they follow up with all these characters? Is this just going to be a specialist campaign for Spec Ops? Who knows? But I do have theories. I've got theories on not only that, but also one of the characters we mentioned today. One of them that is by far the most mysterious. So if you want to stay up to date on all of that, be sure to hit that like button, and on top of that, make sure you're subscribed to the channel to be up to date on all of my videos. Also, let me know down in the comments what you think of all of the returning characters, and as always guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're made